us say.
Okay.
Dipti? Now,
Yeah.
if I am calculating date from Julian day, Julian day from date, that means I would be minusing this one.
Okay. Minusing the from Julian day?
Yeah, that means I will get the number of days here.
Okay.
When I do minus, what I will be getting? I will be getting the days. Some, let us say, some roughly, I can't calculate the exact difference. Let us say some 200, 90,000 days. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now I am doing -1 on this particular thing. So it would be 89,999 days. Again, I am converting back, saying that date from Julian day. Again, this 8,099. What would be the date from 12/12/1880? That would be 3/11/2011 only, right? Now 9,000 is the difference in dates that I got, difference in the days that I got when I minus today's date with my Julian date. It is something like, see, I am asking you how many days, okay, that you are living. What is your? Tell me your age in your days means you would be, what you would do. You will convert today's date with your what we say, birth date, right?
Yeah.
When I say tell me your age in days, what you do, you will say you will minus the current date with your date of birth, and you will say this is the number of days. Okay, now I want to get yesterday's date. So what I will do, let us say your age is something like some 2,000 days from today. For today, your age is 2,000 days. Okay, if I want to get yesterday's date, what I would do, I would minus this particular 2,000. I would get 1999. Okay, I will convert these days again back from today. From, I know that your date of birth is this one, right? Let us say your date of birth is some date. Okay, I would add this 1999 to your date of birth. Again, what date you will get? Yesterday's date only, right?
No, I didn't understand.
Okay, see, if I ask you what is your age in days till today, you will calculate it. Okay, today's date you will minus from your date of birth, and you will get 2,000.
Okay.
Okay, and your target is to get yesterday's date. So what I am going to do, I will minus 2,000 with 1 day. That means I will get yesterday's date, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So yesterday's day I am getting, but I need to get yesterday's date. So what I am going to do, I will convert these days, okay, by using your date of birth. I will add this many number of days to your date of birth, and I will derive the date. Then yesterday's date would be there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is what the derivation that I wrote here. Okay, date from here Julian day. I gave you an example like your birth date, but here Julian day is something like a default value, a stagnant default value will be there. That is some, let us say 12/12/1880. Okay, like your date of birth. We will be calculating that one. Date from Julian day. Finally, I need to get date, so I use this external function. Internally, what I am doing, I am getting a Julian day. I will need to first convert it into days, and I will do a -1 on that particular day, and again I will convert back that days into date.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
And for this current indicator, expiration value, I will give it as n. That means yesterday's record, please use this n for expiring the record. You got it, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Coming to the fifth step. This fifth step, if you observe, what is
not
output? Sorry.
Yes, state, and we are using some Julian date, right?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, what is the?
What's the reason for that? Why we are not using yesterday's date?
That's what now. Yesterday's date, if I use internally, there is a problem with this SCD stage. See, in transformer, there is a function called mod. Okay, you can use that. Actually, we have used in my project itself. I have used this mod function in the transformer. But finally, what I came to know, this mod function has got a problem.
Okay.
So I, instead of using this mod, I have derived the calculation like some that particular input column. Okay, divided by some value I have given. You're able to understand, right, what I'm going to do. This mod I have implemented it in the mathematical format. So even from the data stage end also there are certain problems. Now if I use directly current date -1, I will get a timestamp. Okay. Now if you observe in the transformer, I have used the transformation rule to convert timestamp to date. Now if I'm trying to put timestamp value into date format, it will throw me an error saying that boss, it cannot be inserted.
Okay.
Okay. And that is how you remember this thing. It is very, very important. If you don't do this in this format, you will get an error. You will not be able to proceed. That's what I said in the beginning of this particular stage. This is complex stage, and this has got its own rules defined. So you need to obey the rules. Otherwise, it won't work properly.
Okay.
And coming to the fifth step, the final step. See, this final step corresponds to output field. Here, if you want whatever values you can drag. If your final target is to update a fact table, let us say, what are all the fact table values would be there? Surrogate key column will be there, SKID would be there, your department ID would be there, and department name is sufficient, right? Department name is not required here, actually speaking. Why? Because fact doesn't hold dimension value again. Here you can have some measure, something like that, some billing info, something like that.
Okay.
You are able to understand? Here, for example, I have dragged the department name. But if you don't want department name into fact table, you remove this particular mapping and get some billing info. Let us say in the dimension there is one more new, here in the source input itself, let us say there is one more new column called billing. Okay, drag only that column into fact table and you can load the fact. You are able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here for example, I have used this department name. Don't use department name. Why? Because department name should be there only in dimension table. Here, I just wanted to show you that this particular output can not only be used for fact, but also for your own purpose. Okay, for your own output. So I have dragged this department name. But if your intention is to develop only, if your intention is to output only for fact table, don't use department name. Use some measures or facts, some numeric column. You just drag it here and you can use it.
Okay.
You are able to understand all the settings here, right? So far.
Okay.
Yes. Coming to the Oracle stage now. This is the dimension stage. This is the dimension link which comes into this dimension Oracle stage where updation of the dimension happens. Okay. What it is going to happen now here? If you observe, I am updating the dimension table. Okay. I have used. Please make sure that these settings are there. Right method as upsert should be there, and upsert order would be update then insert. If you use insert then update, what would happen? For every incoming record, first insert will happen and then updation will happen. So you will be seeing two records. Okay, proper updation and all will not happen. So first use update then insert. Use upsert mode, then use update then insert. And remember, you should use auto generated update and insert. Don't use user generated update and insert. Why? Because whatever data that's coming within this link, they will be carrying some identifiers like this record should be inserted, this record should be updated, that values will come, but those are not visible to you. Okay, that is how this SCD stage has been implemented. If you use auto generated update and insert, SCD stage will form a query internally out of that particular values coming, and it will be inserting or updating the data properly.
Okay.
You got me?
Yeah.
Remember these settings are very much important. If somebody asks you why you are going with upsert, this is the rule that SCD stage expects. If you use load, okay, how can you update the expiration record? No, it is not possible, right?
Yeah.
If you use load option here, you can't update the expiration record.
Yeah.
So you are going with upsert. And why you are using update then insert means if you use insert then update, what would happen? Insert will happen for whatever records are coming, okay, and then update will happen for just now inserted record again.
Okay.
Okay, what you have to do are follow the order of update then insert. When you use update, first it updates the existing record and then it inserts the new record. If you use insert then update, what it happens? It inserts the new record and it updates again the currently inserted record only.
Okay.
Okay, so that is why we are using update then insert. And why you are using auto generator means, so for this SCD, while coming the data, while moving the data within the link, it would carry some what we say numbers like 0, 1, 2. 0 is meant for copying the data, 1 is meant for inserting the data, 2 is meant for editing the data, something like that. But those are not visible to you. So as those are not visible to you, you can't use user-defined SQL and you can't properly. So use auto-generated update and insert so that Datastage takes care of using the values that are coming within it and it will update the data properly.
Okay.
Fine. You understood all the settings?
Yeah.
Please make sure that you go through the tutorial once again. Okay. Why? Because these settings are very much confusing, and if you don't practice these settings, you will lose single step. Again, you will come to the starting stage. Again, you will have doubts. Now, what I am going to do, I will run first run. In the first run, what we are going to get? as dimension table doesn't have any data, whatever data is being used in the sequential file, everything will be moved into the target now.
Department number and department name.
Yeah, department number and department name, that particular data will be moved into the target now. Why? Because in the target, there's no data at all. Dimension table I have truncated, right?
Yeah.
SCD input.txt. So far, in whatever I have teached in this particular session, you don't have any doubts, right?
Yeah.
These are the values that comes as a source now. 1, 2, 3, 4 as the department number, and 1 corresponds to accounts, 2 corresponds to finance, 3 corresponds to HR, 4 corresponds to this change. Okay.
Okay.
Now what I am going to do in the example, now first I will complete this first run, and in the second run what I will do, I will update this third record value from HR to HR change. So now you should see for this particular record in the table, okay, some of the values to be changed now. We will see parallelly how this dimension table looks like now. Till now, run is still happening. See, everything came into the what we say 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts, finance, HR changed. SKID 38, 39, 40, 41. Okay, start date is today's date. Okay, don't get confused with today's date means 17 November 2008. Why? Because I am using VMware with today's date as November 17, 2008. Okay. And the end date as default date, and all the records are newly inserted. So everything is having Y. Now what I am going to do, I will be changing this input.txt. Sorry, where is that particular thing? This one. Now department name is your what you say? Department name is your SCD type 2 column, right? I am changing this particular value. HR changed. Now department number 3 is having HR changed as the new value. Fine.
Okay.
Now what is the expected? What is the expected value? Now what would happen? In the target, 1, 2 would be there. For 3, the existing record with HR value would be updated with the expiration details, and this particular department 3 with HR changed value should be inserted once again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now just observe the existing values. See, enter command number. Right? See how your data is being shown now for HR. 3, department number is 3 and department name is HR, SKID is 40, start date, end date, flag is there. Now what happens once I run this job once again, as HR value has been changed now from HR to HR changed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we will see how it runs and how it produces now. See, the same department number is there. Department number 3, existing record HR is there. If you observe, start date is start date only. End date, if you see, it's yesterday's date, 16th November 2008.
Okay.
Okay, and the current indicator is being changed to N.
N. Okay.
Okay, and the new record has been inserted. The same department number 3, now it is changed to HR changed. And start date is today's date and end date is default date and current indicator is yes.
Okay.
You are able to understand, right?
Yeah.
This is how the settings and this is how you should run your SCD type 2. Now type 1, what the setting that you need to change is, okay, just go to this particular stage and change this department name to type 1 and remove all these SKID, start date, end date and flag. For type 1, there's no need to have surrogate key, there's no need to have start date, end date flag, right? Why? Because we are replacing.
Okay, yeah.
You are able to follow me, right? In type 1, we don't have SKID, start date, end date and flag.
Okay.
Okay? So,
yeah.
When you want to implement type 1, just change this particular key value to type 1 and remove all this SKID, start date, end date and flag from your implementation.
Okay.
Okay? Just in the next step, what you need to do, this step won't come for type 1. And for this particular type 3, this particular fourth step, just to give this department number as the department name as department name. That's it. You are done. And make sure that this particular thing holds to type 1. These all values will not be there for type 1 implementation. The reason being we are not going to have any history, right? We are going to replace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. When you run, when you change the value, everything will be changed.
Okay.
Fine. You understood the SCD stage usage, right?
Yeah.
Say that SCD stage can be used only for type 1 and type 2. Type 3 cannot be implemented using it. Now, coming to this, what we say, aggregator stage. So, aggregator stage, before starting the aggregator stage, you know the keywords like what we say, you know the keywords in group by, you know keywords in this particular SQL, right? Group by, summation, okay, average. Okay, how you are going to form a query out of it? Select, okay, max of salary from department, from employee. Sorry. I think just I'm writing so that you will remember this particular thing. Select max of sal from employee table, okay, group by department number. Can you recall this query? Can you dissect this query and explain me what it is going to do?
Oh, what is the group by means what? I didn't remember that.
Group by means, no problem. See, this is the employee table. Employee number, EMP name, salary, and department number. Okay. Employee number 1, employee name is some R. Okay, salary is something like 2000 rupees, and department number is 1. And employee 2, his name is some S. Okay, his salary is 2000, and his department is once again same first. Salary 3, sorry, employee number 3, his name is P. Okay, and the salary is some 4000, and his department is 2. Okay, so employee number 4, okay, his name is G, his salary is 8000, okay, and his department is again 2. Okay, and salary, sorry, employee number is 5, okay, his name is H, and salary is 1000 only, and his department number is 3. Now when I use this particular command of select max of sal from employee group by department number, means what it is going to do, it is going to group records based on department number first. That means your department number is what? 1 and 1. Now what it is going to do, all the similar value department numbers considered as one group. Okay, 1 and 1 falls in one group, 2 and 2 falls in one group, 3 falls in one group. In this particular group, which one is having highest what we say salary? 2000 is the highest salary, right? Now what would be the output if I use this particular query is something like department number? So how the value would be, how the output would be something like
1 or
no 2000 comma 1, and again what would be the next value? 8000
comma 2.
Okay, and the last one 1000 comma 3. You're able to understand, right, how group by works?
Yeah.
Okay, not only max can be used, you can use sum. Okay, you can use average, you can use mean. Okay, you can use standard deviation. These are all the various functions that I can use in combination with group by.
Mean means what?
Mean means there is a mathematical function. In childhood days, you might be coming across some of the mathematical function like mean, standard deviation. Okay, these are all the mathematical functions. Don't get confused with this one. Okay, those are not helpful much in your real-time application. If you see in your mathematical days, if they give you some 10 values and if they ask you to calculate mean, how you are going to do it? For average, what is the function? Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, let us say 3 values are given. How you are going to calculate the average? Divided by 3. Why? Because 3 rows are there. This is the average, right? 6 by 3, that would be 2. These are all mathematical functions. If I use summation, you would be calculating only this part, 1 plus 2 plus 3, summation. Average means divided by 3 equal to 2. Mean means that is again some with square root and all it would come. You are able to understand me, right?
Yeah.
These are all mathematical functions. You can use in according to your group by operator that you are using.
Okay.
Now that particular SQL calculation you can implement using the aggregator stage here. This is the aggregator stage that you can use to perform that particular calculations. Now, what is the group by operator that I have used? On department number, right?
Yeah.
Okay, similarly here I am going to use, 1 second, just taking some time to open. Yeah, see, I am using this particular property, group is equal to year. That means now I am going to group the keys based on the year. Here I have used department number for grouping. Here I am using year as the grouping. Why? Because the columns that I am going to get from my source are, these are the columns. Okay. See, name, amount and year. These are the 3 columns that I am going to get from the source. Now I want a group based on year. Now what are the columns that are coming here in the source? Employee number, employee name, sal, department number. Similarly here, what are the values coming from the source? Name, amount, year. Here in this example I have used department number as the group by column. Here I am using year as the group by column. You are able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
Remember these properties very well. This in the grouping key section I am mentioning group is equal to year. You can have group by column as many as possible, right? You are not restricted to use just only department number. But if you want, you can have you can have one more column also for group by. Let us say if you want to group by and employee name also, you can do it. Okay, you are able to follow me, right? Group by can be done on not just single column, multiple columns also can be used. So that is why here you are able to see other group by classes also. If you add this, if you click on this one more property you can add, one more column you can add, right?
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? Any doubts, just ask me right away. Okay. Now coming to these aggregations, this is where I am going to perform the aggregations. You see, I can use calculation or recalculation or count. Okay, the difference between these are calculation means the summation or let us say I am using sum. Okay, what would be the values if I use sum here? It would be 4000, 2000 plus 2000 in department 1, 4000, and department 2, what would be the value? 12,000. And the third, it would be 1000. This is called as calculation. Recalculation means I would write one more condition saying that, okay, I would write one more condition, like there would be one more condition called having. If you observe in your query,
yeah,
you can write this particular thing, having, okay,
okay,
sum of sal greater than
okay,
4,000. Now what would be the output here?
12,000.
Once I use, only 12,000 will come out, right? Why? Because 4,000 is less than this particular value. I am expecting, I am first grouping by on department number. I will be removing this. First I will be grouping on department number. Okay, based on the grouping, I am calculating summation. Okay, and now I am writing having condition on the summation.
Okay.
Okay, what is the condition? Once you calculate all the sums, I have calculated all the sums, and now my output should have only sum of sal greater than 4,000. So in these particular 3 records, which one is having greater than 4,000? Only the second record. Okay, this would come to the output. This is your final output out of the SQL query, right?
Yeah.
You understood, right? Why, how this having function works?
Okay.
Having worked on already calculated values. This is nothing but your recalculation in your aggregator stage. You are able to follow me? This particular thing is calculation. Once you have calculated it, basing on having condition, you are recalculating once again. Okay, you have recalculated on the values that you have generated. This is the value that you have generated in the calculation, and using this calculation you are recalculating once again, and you have got only one output, that is 4,000,2. This is called as your recalculation operation. You understood what I explained now? Deepti?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, fine. This is what the meaning of calculation and recalculation. Coming to the count rows, this means, okay, now when I use this particular count rows, everything would be lost. Okay, see, only count out. Don't worry about this red color thing. Count rows, how it works. Now if I use count rows here, it is nothing but your count star. If I use count star, what would be the output? Select count star from employee group by department number. Up to here only the query is there, let us say. You are able to understand, right?
Yeah.
Select count star from employee group by department number. What would be the output?
5.
Count star comma department number I will use. Now let me know what would be the output. It would be 2 records corresponding to first department, 2 records correspond to second department, and 1 record correspond to third department, right? It just counts the number of records in that particular department.
Okay.
Okay. When I use count star, it is going to calculate the number of records in each department. So in department 1 there are 2 records. In department 2 there are 2 records. Whereas in department 3 there is 1 record. This calculation is being implemented here in aggregator stage with the name count rows.
Okay.
Fine. So now I thought of doing I thought of calculating 3 values. I want to calculate sum, I want to calculate range, I want to calculate mean. These 3 functions I thought of using. These 3 functions are something like I want to use something like sum of sal, okay, mean of sal, okay, range of sal. These 3 I need to work out now. You are able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
This is the query that I need to implement using the aggregator stage. What would be the values that I would be getting? Okay, I would be getting 4,000 comma mean value. Let us say the mean out of your square root of 1 comma 1 plus 2 plus 2 divided by 3. If you are going to get some 1.001, okay, that would be your mean. Range means again that is also some square root, some formula would be there, some mathematical formulas. In our childhood days, we might have come across these mean values, range values, standard deviations. These are all the mathematical functions. Okay, based on your requirement, you have to use it, but generally we will come across only sum. Okay, sum and average. These 2 functions will come across. And coming to the range, it is also some mathematical function. Let us say out of that mathematical function, you are going to get some 1.007. Okay, and what would be the department name? For the entire department, we are calculating this, right? So that would be 1. You are able to follow me?
Okay.
Okay. This particular thing I want to implement it in the aggregator stage. Sorry, aggregator stage. So what I am going to do, I am deciding on what column I need to do this particular operation. See here, what column I used for the calculation? Sal column. Sal. Similarly, in this example, I am using amount column. Why? Because the input columns that I have got is amount, name, and year. So year I have used as group by and year I have done. On amount I am going to do all the functions like I have done in Sal. In that example, I am doing for amount. Okay, column for calculation is amount. What are all the values that you wanted to do? Okay, I wanted to calculate summation, I wanted to calculate range, I wanted to calculate mean. See, here lot more functions are available here. Like summation, you are having lot more operations. You are able to understand what I am saying?
Yeah.
Like this particular functions like sum, mean, range, you are having many more functions. They are standard deviation, standard error, okay, percent coefficient. These are also mathematical functions. Okay. Based on that mathematical function, if you want to calculate this percent coefficient, you just give percent. You just select this one and give the name of the particular column. Now I want to have sum of this particular amount field. Okay, where to store that particular thing? I am storing it in the output column called sum. That is something like here. You know the aliases concept, right? In the Oracle SQL, as sum. Okay.
Okay.
You understood, right? What I am doing? As mean, as range. These are the columns that would be visible in the output now. Similarly, here when I perform this summation operation on amount field, I need to give where the summation should be stored in the output, right? This is the column name sum. This is the column name range. This is the column name mean value. Okay. Now, what are the output columns that I will be getting? See, and based on whatever I am calculating, these are the values that comes in the output. Sum, summary, these are the various values that comes in the output, right? You are able to follow me?
Okay. Okay.
So summary output column is equal to summary. What I will do, I wanted only mean value, range, sum. Others I am not interested. What I will do, mean value, range, sum. Here is there. Here mean value, range, sum. Summary. Summary also I don't want. You are able to follow, right? What I am going to do. So if somebody asks what is the aggregator stage, just say them that see in SQL we are having this group by operator on the various functions, various group by functions that I can use accordingly. So those functions have been implemented in the data stage in this way. You are able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
See, frankly speaking, all the ETL tool functions corresponds to some keywords in your SQL only. Everything, whatever data warehouse implementation that we are going to do, it can be done using your SQL and PLSQL itself. But what is the problem? The problem is something like it is not feasible to maintain the code written in PLSQL and all. Okay, here if you observe any stage, whatever may be the processing stage, you can do it in SQL itself. See, if you use aggregator, that is group by. Okay, if you use, these are all Unix commands, compress. Okay, these are all the things. Now if you use join, funnel, these are all again your SQL commands only. Join means you know, right? Join, inner join, left outer join, right outer join.
Okay.
I have completed, right, for you join, merge, lookup.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, if you remember, these all can be written in your SQL itself, right? Like, see, you can write a simple SQL saying that select call 1. Okay, select A dot call 1, comma B dot call 2. Okay, from table 1, comma table 2.
Where?
Yeah, where table 1 table 1, comma call 3 is equal to, yeah, table 1 means I will be using here as A and B, let us say. This is the aliases that I have named for table 1 and table 2, let us say. Okay, here I can mention it as A dot column 3. A dot column 3 is equal to B dot column 3.
column.
This is inner join, right?
Yeah.
If I want to use left outer join, I will directly write the same query, okay, something like this one. So everything can be implemented in your SQL. But the thing is, see, now if you are using different sources, how can you get the data into SQL? So everything is there. If you are using source as one as mainframe machine, another as some other say RP stage or some flat file, how can you read it using the SQL functions here? So it is not possible. So that is why your ETL came into picture, which can connect it to different sources and it can get data into a centralized location called Datastage, and there you can perform all these inner joins and all. You understood, right?
Yeah.
That is why we are having ETL tools. Okay. See, I have used range, sum, and summary. Okay, see how the values are being populated in summary field. Okay, mean value, see, it came as 2000, 21,500, 22,000. There would be some mathematical formula. If you get it in what we say childhood days books and all, if you want to calculate mean value, there would be some formula. Similarly, for range also there would be some formula using square roots and something. Some mathematical formula would be there. Okay, if you want to implement range on a particular column, this is how you have to do it. For summation, I have used one more called summary. Okay, that is why this came into picture. You are able to follow, right, what I am going to do. What I have done, see, I have performed the summation operation, I have performed range operation, I have performed this mean value and also summary output column. Okay, this is what I have done. And what is the meaning of decimal output means? This is the precision. 8,2 means if you want to, if you get some decimal value, something like something like 1000, 44444. If you are giving 8,2, that means 8 characters can be before this dot and 2 characters should be there after the dot. So I will be remove this data stage will be removing these two. That is what your decimal output value that you are given. 8,2 means 8 characters can be before the dot and 2 characters should be there after the dot.
Okay, we must give the decimal output number.
It's not mandatory. If you give, that means if you are going to get some value as some fractions, you can adjust the fractions using this 8,2. 8,2 what it does, if you are getting summation value, the final output from the summation is, let us say, okay, this is the value that you gave, that you got out of your summation operation. When you give decimal output as 8,2, 8.2, okay, 8,2, what it does, it is going to calculate for 8 digits before this dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this all will be retained, but after the dot only 2 are permitted. But see, after the dot here many are there, so only 2 will be placed, others will be removed.
Okay.
Understood, right? How it is going to work?
Yeah.
Fine. There are two. This is something like, see, if you get null out of any of these calculations. It is, see, if you get any null out of these particular calculations, maybe summation calculation or range output calculation or mean value calculation, you can decide whether to put that value into the output column or not. Okay, if you put it as true, that means, let us say in the summation calculation you are getting some null. Okay, that null will be posted into the sum column. Now if you have as you have put here the option as false, that means that null value will not be put into some column. You are able to understand, right?
Yeah.
Now this method is equal to hash, okay, or sort. Now don't worry, here sort means not something like what we say, what the general sort is going to do. Here sort is something like it sorts the data. It expects the data to be sorted. It internally converts the whatever input data coming input data sets into sorted format and then performs your aggregator calculations on that one. And if you use hash, hash is one of the method that will be internally used to calculate all these aggregation functions, whatever values, whatever operations that you are expecting here, range, summary, sum, these are all the various values that you are expecting to do, right? All the mathematical functions. Okay, those mathematical functions will be implemented by a method called hash. That is what the meaning out of it. Okay, you are able to understand, right?
And if you do sort, what about
see, this is the limitation. When you have to go with the hash and when you have to go with the sort is, if you want to go with the hash, you are using this group by, right? Group by means what is going to happen. See here there are various values, 1, 1, 2, 2, everything is there. So if you are having very huge number of groups, let us say, okay, very huge number of groups are there, let us say, okay, then you don't go with hash. You are able to understand, right? Now there are how many groups here in this particular thing? How many groups are there in this particular example?
In this
example, in this particular example, how many groups are there? I have done group by and department number.
Okay.
So how many groups are there?
5.
No, 3, right? Why? Because one and one falls under one group. I have group by and department number. So department number having 1 will be clubbed into one group. Department number having 2 into clubbed into one group. Department number 3 will be clubbed into one more group. So finally, how many groups are there? 3. Like this, if you say you are having some 1 lakh records here, let us say that your groups might be more than 1000 per megabyte of memory. So then don't use this hash, use sort.
Okay.
When hash needs to be used is if you are having less than 1000, this particular group various values like 1, 2, 3. If you have less than 1000 groups per 1 megabyte of data, 1 megabyte of memory, then only you have to use sort. Generally, people will be using hash only.
Okay.
Okay, you are you understood, right?
Yeah.
Remember, if people ask you when you have to use hash and when you have to use this particular sort, say them that if you are having less than 1000 group by values per megabyte of memory, then I will go with hash. If there are more than that, I will go with sort. Fine.
Okay.
And if somebody asks you what is the meaning of allow null output, that means if you are going to get any null value out of these calculations that you are going to do, and that null, if you want to put it into a target, you can put it or you can drop it. That is what the meaning of false and true here. Done?
Okay.
You understood how the aggregator works, right? Any doubts?
No.
Fine. These are some more settings for count calculation and all. This is one more example only. See, this first step actually calculated all these group by all these functions, and in the second step I am using recalculation. Why I am using this recalculation is whatever data is coming out of the aggregator, I need to once again filter it.
Okay.
You are able to understand me, right?
Yeah.
Now I am using aggregation type as recalculation. Recalculation means in this example having actually what it does, it operates on already calculated data. Something like this is the already calculated data. When I use having greater than 4000, it got only this particular value. So it have actually recalculated on whatever has been already calculated. So when I use recalculation, it expects what is the output column that you want for this particular thing. Summary is the output column. So on what are all the columns that you want to do recalculation is maximum value output column is equal to max value, mean value output column is equal to mean value, minimum value output column is equal to mean value. Okay. I am using summary in the input. Okay, I have used this particular column in the previous stage. What to calculate? Tell me. This summary, I have used this summary to create some output in the previous stage. Okay, one operation I have used for summary operation like sum, mean, average. There is one more operation called summary. I have used that summary column here for recalculation. Here, how have I used having? Here, how have I used this having class? Okay, how I am using this having class, having summation greater than 4000. That means, okay, this sum of cell, let us say in the select list I am using a sum, right? So I can use something like having sum greater than 4000. You got it? You are not able to follow?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. Here, while first time calculation, I have used sum of cell and I have put it the alias as sum. So in the having class, I can directly use having of sum greater than 4000. Okay. So I am mentioning a column which has been calculated earlier. Similarly, there is a column which has been calculated earlier called summary column. So on this summary, I am recalculating again maximum value output column, mean value output column, minimum value output column. It is something like I am again calculating on whatever has been calculated earlier on summary column, that is calculated column. On this calculated column, once again I am applying the various functions.
Okay.
And these functions values I am putting it into max value, mean value, minimum value output columns.
Okay.
You're able to follow me, right? Any doubts there, Deepthi? Just ask me if you have got any doubts.
Yeah. Can you open once again? Recalculate.
Yeah. Please ask me if you have any doubts. Don't keep it to you. Why? Because at the end of the session you should be well aware, like you should take some requirement and you should be able to complete it. So ask me what is your doubt here.
And before example we used to in summary amount in place of summary, right?
See, I will show you this one. This is the stage, right, which gave you the summary field. See here from where I am getting summary. Yeah, summary output column. This is an operation like range. This is an operation summary.
Okay.
Okay. This summary operation, whatever it has done, it is putting it into a column named summary column.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. This summary column is used for recalculation. Okay. I am saying that summary column for recalculation I am using summary. And now here I am mentioning what are all the calculations that I am going to do on the summary column. And I am putting that particular output into new columns called max value, mean value, and mean value.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just show you the data and we will move to Deepthi, you are able to see these values, right? Max value, mean value, and min value being calculated on summary column.
Okay.
Okay? No doubts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now coming to the sort. See, before going to sort, can you tell me what is the keyword that we use in the what we say in SQL for sort? If you want to sort some of the records in the coming from the database in SQL, how you are going to do it?
No, I didn't remember that.
No problem. See, there is a class called order by.
Order by, okay.
You remember? Select.
I had studied a long back. I was.
No problem, no problem. But see, before going to interview, make sure that you once again recap all those SQL concepts as well.
Sure.
Okay, have you got the SQL PDFs properly?
Sorry?
Have you got any SQL PDFs with you for studying for that particular SQL keywords and all?
No, I studied in online only.
Okay, what I will do at the end, I told you I will send this tutorial for your Datastage, right?
Okay.
At the end, I will send you for Oracle also. Just go through that Oracle with the examples, everything would be there. You just go through that one and you just learn these things properly, okay?
Okay.
In interviews, they will be asking even the Oracle SQL and PLSQL. That is why I am stressing on this thing to learn more, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now the command would be something like select star from employee where, okay, employee number in, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, order by name, ename. This is how you will be giving. So you will get the output in the, what is a sorted order of your ename.
Okay.
Okay, this is what your order by. This order by has been implemented in Datastage using sort. Okay, see what are all the sort settings that you will be seeing here. And Deepthi, please do me a favor also. Once I complete these processing stages, by tomorrow eve we would be able to complete these processing stages. There are a lot of processing stages to be discussed. Once we complete, please do me a favor, like you just go through the those people content, okay, whatever the big classes people they have provided, just to go through the content and let me know if I am going to miss any of the stages.
Sure.
Okay, so that I will explain you that in the next class. Even theoretical concepts also. See, I gave you all the theory stuff, right, for the first 5 hours, for first 6 to 7 classes.
Yeah.
Okay, you just get the content from the big classes site and just see what are all, what if something has been missed. Okay, then please let me know so that I will give you the example then and there.
Okay.
Even from the theory and also from the this thing. If you are able to complete a bit quicker, I will cover extra concepts also. Even whatever these people haven't given you, I will give some extra concepts also. If you are able to complete quicker, within let us say whatever content they have promised, if you are able to complete within 35 hours or 36 hours, remaining 4 hours, I will teach you something extra, like quality stage palette or something, some shared jobs that server jobs is there, right?
Yeah.
Server jobs, I will show you important stages and all. Actually, in their content, they won't be having the server jobs and as well as this quality stage. But I will give at least theoretical stuff, something extra, if you are able to complete this thing earlier, okay?
Okay.
I will be explaining all the properties, don't worry, I will not skip even a single thing. You just let me know if I am not going to, if I miss any stage from the course content, you just let me know, I will cover it right then, okay?
Okay, sure.
But review the content tomorrow after the session so that you will have a good picture. Up to processing stages only you see. Sequence jobs and all anyway we will be seeing. Now coming to the settings in the sort stage. Okay. Now this key, this property called key decides on which column I need to do the group by operation. See here I have given what is the, sorry, not the group by, apologies.
Order by.
Order by, yeah. E-name. Here I am doing on e-name. Similarly here employee ID. This is what I have used for sorting. Okay. It is not mandatory that you should give only one column, right? I can give here employee ID also.
Okay.
Okay. Order by e-name, comma employee ID. Similarly, here also you can sort on 1 or 2 columns. Here I have given employee ID as well as employee name. If you observe here, sort key mode, there are 3 modes. Don't sort previously grouped, don't sort previously sorted, sort. The difference between these is, if you use sort, that means whatever data is coming within the employee ID, please sort it. That is what we are saying. Okay. If you use don't sort previously sorted, that means, see, if you observe the entire data in that employee ID column, there might already be some of the column, some of the data which will be already in sorted format. Let us say, okay, employee ID column, it is something like EID, E-name, okay, something like these 2 columns are there. Let us think, okay, how it would look like. The data, okay, 1 would be there and then R is the name of the employee thing, okay, then 5, 6 will come and then G is the name, okay, 4 will come and then K would be the name, okay, and then 7 would come and then, okay, sorry, J would be the name, here 2 would be there and then L would be there, 3 would be there and then G would be there, G or some D. Okay. If you observe here, okay, in this particular data, 2 and 3 is already sorted, right?
Yeah.
No need to sort it once again, right? So, if you observe the data sets, I told you data within the data links will move using a concept called virtual data sets, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you observe the design, something like here, the data within this particular link, okay, the data within this link flows in the form of virtual data sets. If there are 10 records, 2 records will be carried in 5 virtual data sets. So what we are saying using this option of don't sort previously sorted, the meaning of this thing is, okay, we are saying that if there are any records that are already sorted in any of the virtual data sets, don't sort it again. That is what we are saying.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? I am saying that this thing is already sorted. Don't sort it once again. Sort these things. Why? Because they are not in same order.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? These 6 records might be carried in data, virtual data set 1, virtual data set 2, and virtual data set 3. When Datastage looks back into this virtual data set, it identifies that 2 and 3 are already sorted. No need to sort it once again. But 4 and 7, 6 and 1 are not sorted, so it needs to sort it.
Okay.
Okay, that is what the meaning of your don't sort previously sorted. Now coming to don't sort previously grouped. The meaning of this one is, let us say you have used the group by operation on department number. Okay, you have used group by operation on department number. Now if I use order by department number, you are able to follow me, right? I have used group by on department number. Okay, now if I use sorting key as department number, what I am saying, boss, this particular data is already sorted on department number. So sorry, this particular data is already grouped on department number. So don't sort data within each group. Now if you observe, if I use that option here, 1 and 1, these two are grouped, right?
Yeah.
These two are grouped. This one is falls under one group. I am saying that I have grouped based on department number. Don't sort previously grouped. That means in this particular group, don't sort the data. That is what I am saying.
Okay.
You understood, right? What I am saying. And on what basis it sorts is, it sorts based on the other value. Let us say I have used the key employee name for sort, and I have used it for employee ID. Don't sort previously grouped means how it is going to do. In this particular group, it won't sort based on department number, but it sorts based on employee name. You are able to follow, right? Now the records will be shuffled. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. So it is already sorted. R and S.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? I am saying that this particular data is grouped by on department number, so don't group on department number column. But in each group, sort the data on employee name column. That is what I am saying by having these settings here.
Yeah.
You understood, right?
Yeah.
These are the keys that I would be using. Like when we compare with SQL, this is the keys that I mentioned after order by class. When you use this sort order, that is ascending or descending way you want to sort it. Order by some D number, you will be giving ascending or descending, right? That is what is the meaning of this one, sort order.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now coming to the options section. First option, allow duplicates means from the name itself it is very clear. During the sorting operation on employee number or employee ID, if you come across any duplicates in that particular column, okay, whether you need to allow the duplicates to follow or whether you can filter it out. Let us say in this particular thing you are getting one more record, okay, of the same employee number, and you are doing the operation on employee number, let us say. So 2 and 2 are having duplicates, right? I am doing it on employee number now, order by employee number. So 2 and 2 are already having duplicates. So if you set it to allow duplicates to false, it will pick only this particular record to output and it drops this particular record.
Okay.
Okay, that is what the meaning of allow duplicates. So remember this property. If somebody asks you like how can I remove the duplicates, this is one of the way that you can remove the duplicates in the data. There is one dedicated stage called remove duplicates, but if they ask you like where else you can come across this duplicate removal, say that in the sort stage you are having this opportunity to delete the duplicates, allow duplicates. Okay. If you remember, I have given you one more example in previous days where you can remove the duplicates. Where is that one, if you remember?
In the processing stages only?
In any stage, if you go to this particular input tab, here see in the sorting section, you are having this unique.
Yeah.
Once you select that one, duplicates will be removed.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now coming to this, create cluster key change and create key change column. This is very, very, very important columns. If somebody is going to ask you a question on the sort stage, these are the questions they will ask you. What is the purpose of having create cluster key change column and create key change column, and what is the difference between them? Okay, what is the purpose of having create a cluster key change column is, okay, you are having the values either to set it as true or false. When you set it as true, that means one extra column will come in the output with the name cluster key change. Okay, the name of the column would be cluster key change and it would be set to 1. Okay, for the first row in each group, where groups are defined by sorting key mode of don't sort. Here I have used don't sort, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this particular cluster key change column in the output gives a value of 1 or 0. 1 will be given for the first row in the each group, where groups are defined by using a sort key mode of don't sort. Okay, and all the other consequent rows will be given 0. So now let us see in this example. Okay, I have given this allow duplicates equal to true. So in the output, I would be getting both the records, right, to the output. I said allow duplicates equal to true. That means I wanted to allow the duplicates. So in the output, I would be getting both the records, right?
Okay.
Fine. Now I have set this property also true. Let us say create a cluster key change column equal to true. So I am saying that in the output you will get one extra column called cluster key change. Yeah. The name might be different, but concept is same. When we look in, I have implemented that. I will show you. This output column might change. Cluster key change or key change column. I don't remember exactly, but remember one extra column will come, and that column will have values like 1. For this particular values will come 1, and for the second record, okay, it will come as 0.
0. Okay.
Okay, why? Because it's already grouped on employee ID, and if the employee ID are repeating in that particular group, in employee number group, first record will be given as 1 and the second record will be given as 0. Okay. Here if you observe, here key for grouping is I have given as employee ID. So I am grouping as employee ID based on employee ID or employee number. Okay, I am grouping on employee number, let us say. Okay, 2 and 2 comes in one group. So in this group, for the first row I am giving it as 1, and for the second row I am giving it as 0. And
okay,
here again it would come as 1. Tell me.
Suppose if 3 duplicate records means?
Let us say one more duplicate is there. It would give 0 for the last duplicate.
Okay. Only for one record only it will give 1?
Yes. Only in that particular group, only the first record will be given the value of 1. Now can you imagine what would be the purpose of having this? See what benefit you are getting out of it if you use this particular 100 concept or cluster key change. You can remove duplicates in the transformer stage, right, by using this particular thing. Okay. The transformer, you can write a condition saying that the cluster key change, if it is equal to 1, you will pass it to output. That means all the records having cluster key change equal to 1 will be passed to output. It means only unique records will be passed. All these will be left behind. Okay. You are able to understand, right, the purpose? Yeah. Now similarly, create key change column. It also works in the same way, in the similar fashion. It will also give you an extra column, and in that column you will be having the value of 1, 0. Okay. Now this column is set to 1 for the first row in each group where the value of the sort key changes. Like now let us say you are having now let us say this is not there. Okay. Only employee name is there. Okay. Let us say in this particular what I need to do, what I will do is I will change to department number. Okay, you don't have grouping and all currently. Let us say that is the scenario. You don't have any grouping, and your sort key mode is not what we say previously started something like that. I am using sort only now. You are able to remember, right? Create cluster key change column works for don't sort. This mode only. The other two modes, don't sort modes only it will work. Create cluster key change column. Now what I am going to do, I am not going to use this particular thing. Why? Because all the columns that I have mentioned are all in sorted format only, not in the don't sort. So I will use create key change column. Okay. How it is going to do? Okay, I am doing here on the basis of department number, right? Sorting. What create key change column does? Let us say the output is let us say the data is something like this, and now the output column name changes, right? My column name changes to key change column. Okay. Because I am not going to use cluster key change column now, I am using create key change column. Remember when you are going to use this one, when you are having sort key mode as don't sort, the above one, create cluster key. When you are going to use create key change column, when you are going to use sort key mode as sort. Now how it is going to work, one extra column will come called as key change column, and if you remember, I am using department number as, I am using the sorting key as department number. So how the output would be generated on the department number, okay. Whenever the sort key changes, it is going to generate one new value. Something like, see, now department number here it is 1. So for the first record in that department number having 1, it would give you 1 value. For the other, it would give 0. Once it changes the department number value from 1 to 2, it gives 1. Okay. But again, you are getting the same record having department number as 1. So it again moves back to 0. Here again, it will generate 1. You are able to follow, right? with it.
For department number.
See, remember, create cluster key change column works when your sort key mode is don't sort or don't sort previously grouped. Okay. Now I'm not having those settings, so I cannot use this create cluster key change column.
Okay.
I can use only create key change column. The reason being I'm using sort key mode as sort.
Okay.
So how create key change column works is here I have
don't sort won't work, right?
No, it won't work. Create key change column works only for sort mode.
Only, okay.
Okay. Whereas cluster key change works for don't sort and don't sort.
Okay. For sort it won't work.
No, for sort it won't work. Cluster key change column. Cluster key change column works for only don't sort. Whereas create key change column works only for sort mode. In the sort mode, how it is going to function is, see, I have defined the sort key should happen on department number. So which one is the department number? This one is the department number. 1, 1, 1, 1 and 2, 2, 3. So one new column came into picture called key change column, and how the values are being set. In this particular department number, all ones, only first row will be given value of 1 and all the other following values will be given as 0. Till it comes across a new value called 2. So here 1 and 0 will be introduced. For 3 again 1 will be introduced. You are able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
Very good. These two are very much important. Remember the differences. Once after everything is done, I will ask you some of the questions. Make sure that you, by the time you just at least be answer me in theoretical format.
Okay.
At the end of my 40-hour session, I will just take some 20 minutes mock session. Please make sure that at least you have got confidence enough to take the step forward. Like you should be at least tell me theoretical differences between when I ask some questions. So please make sure that you go back to your sessions and get all the theory stuff as well as what are all the settings that you need to do in the stages.
Okay.
Fine. Coming to this output statistics, you know what it is, right? Output statistics means in the directory you will be getting like 10% is complete, 20% is complete, it will give you logs. And now the sort utility is there. What is the utility that you are going to use to perform sort? In Unix there is an operator called sort. In Unix there is a command called sort. If you want to use Unix's sort command here, you can use it from Datastage to Unix. Okay.
Okay.
Once you use this Unix, see all the other options got disappeared. Only key is there. But if you want to perform when you want to perform this particular, you are not interested to use Unix sorter, use the Datastage provided sorter. Okay, internally Datastage will be having a code that performs the sorting operation. So if you want to use that particular code, use Datastage here. If you don't want to use Datastage specific sort operator, go with Unix specific sorter.
Okay.
When you select Unix specific sorter, see all the other options got disappeared. Only keys you can mention and options you can mention. You are not supposed to get cluster key change, nothing will be possible.
Okay.
Select back the data stage, all the other values are being shown here. Fine? You are clear about sort operator, right? Sort stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just click on this run button. I will just show you how the output would be. And what are all the columns I have used this sort operation? Employee ID and employee number, employee name. See, employee ID 1000, 1002, 1002, 1004 and 1010. If you observe inside this 1002, DEF again would be sorted. You understand, right? ABC, DEF again ABD. Why? Because 1004, in 1004 employee ID only one record is there, so ABD came here.
Okay.
You're able to understand how the sorting has happened, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Coming to this remove duplicates. It is one more stage. So tell me what are all the stages that we have discussed so far?
So you, the sort stage you said that cluster key change.
Yeah,
so,
sorry.
You said per cluster key change one row will be added, right?
One column will be added. Now I will show you that. Sorry, I just missed that one and moved to the next one. See, I have set this one create key change column equal to true. Okay. When I use create key change column, everything should be in sort mode, not in the don't sort mode.
Okay.
In the output, see, there is one new column called key change.
Yeah.
This key change has been moved to the output. I just added like one more step. What is the purpose of having key changes? I want to split the uniques and duplicate records. That is my end requirement. How can I get uniques? If key change column is equal to 1, all are unique records. If key change column equal to 0, all are duplicate records, right?
Yeah.
So I wrote a constraint. See here in the constraint I have written link sort out dot key change is equal to 1. Whatever key change equal to 1 that goes through this link unique records. Whatever key change otherwise, that means key change if it is other than 1, everything will go into link duplicate records. I will, once we come into the transformer stage, I will show you how to write constraints and all. See, this is link unique records and this is link duplicate records. Okay, in this transformer I have mentioned like a constraint. If I double click on this constraint, see, I get a constraints window. Here I have mentioned like in the output link unique records. What are all the records that would go through this particular link unique records is link student out. This means link sort out. This is the previous stage link. That key change should be 1. If it is equal to 1, all those records will be passed through link unique records. Okay. For link duplicate records, I am just checking like otherwise log. So that means other than this particular value, everything would be passed through this particular link duplicate records link. You are able to understand, right? The setting.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the constraints that I am writing. Constraints window is specific to transformer. If you select these constraints, see, whatever boxes that you are going to see here that corresponds to link here, you are going to see the link, right? Link unique records, link duplicate records. In the left hand side in the transformer, you are able to see this box, link sort out. Whatever data is coming within this particular link name will be showed as left hand side and right hand side. Okay, see, left hand side in the pane, you are able to see that link sort out. In the right hand side, you are able to see the two output links, link unique records, link duplicate records. You forget about stage variables. I will tell you in the transformer stage. Okay. These are the two links that comes here. Okay. In this particular links, okay, I have written a constraint. Constraint in the sense what data should pass into which link. That is what I am mentioning here using the constraints window. When you select this one and double click, you will get this window. In this window, I am writing that this is the first output link. In this first output link, what should pass? All the records having key change equal to 1 should pass through the first output column, first output link. Second output link, other than this key change equal to 1, those duplicates should be collected. That means the duplicates should be collected in the second link. You are able to follow the settings, right? You have got any doubts?
No.
Very good. That is what this key change column is for. What are the stages that we have discussed so far?
Join, merge, lookup, target, slowly dimension, aggregator, sort.
Yes. Now we are going to see one more new one, that is your remove duplicate. By today end of the day, oh God, what is this? Okay. By today end of the day, I should be completing at least till copy. Checksum is not specific to the 8.0.1, just for my project specific activity where I am using 8.5 version. I have got one new stage, so I have placed it there. Don't worry about this checksum. You won't see here any of the processing stages. Okay.
Okay.
Other than this change capture, change apply, compare, difference, compress and expand. At least compress and expand, we should be able to complete it today. Now coming to this remove duplicates. See, I am don't feel like I am skipping anything. I am explaining everything. But the only thing is we are spending more time. That is the only thing here. If you spend 1 hour, we might have stopped till SCD itself today. Why? Because I have observed like till 6:30 we are discussing only SCD. But as we are spending extra hours today, we are able to cover extra. Don't feel like I'm skipping something. If you observe each and every option we are discussing. Okay. In the remove duplicates, why? Because even though I'm discussing, if you have got that feeling, right, then you will not be able to grab the things properly. That's why I'm mentioning it. Okay. How this remove duplicates, from the name itself, it is very clear, like it is going to remove the duplicates, right? Now here, on what key, remove this key change column now. From now onwards it is not helpful. You understood the concept of that particular thing, right? What you say, all these, whatever we have discussed so far, you don't have any doubts in that, right? From settings point of view.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you practice by using my tutorial. Anyway, you will be having the videos, so make sure that once you have got all the installation properly, you try to generate whatever I have done with the settings, right? You try to do that again in your home system, so that you will feel comfortable at the end of the 40-hour session. Now, this is how the data is there now. Okay. Now, if I do remove duplicates and department number, how many records will get in the output for me?
Means it will come only the duplicate values?
Remove duplicates. The stage name is remove duplicates. I am going to remove duplicates, and I am doing 3 exactly. So it would be something like 1 comma R comma 2000. That means this particular record would come outside, this particular record would come outside, and this one will come outside. And if you are interested, like I don't want to have only the first one, I want the last one in the group, then you can have a setting like which one to retrieve also in this remove duplicate stage. Okay.
Okay.
If you know, generally speaking, in this particular groups, the first one can be retrieved. Now, if you want to have last one, you can get this one also in this particular group. Apart, if you don't want first record, you can have the last record. In this here in the second, you can get this one, something like that. So for that, you are able to. I am going to the remove duplicate stage. Here I am mentioning key as employee ID. There in the example we have used as department number. Okay. Say now if I am using employee ID or employee number, how many records will come as output here in the example?
4.
5, right? 1 is there, first record, employee number right now. So 1 is there. For all these 2, only 1 would come. So 2 and 3, 4, 5. 5 records would come. Okay. So here I have used the employee ID, and see this is the property that will help you to retrieve which one. Like if I use duplicate to retain last, that means in this particular group of employee numbers, which one to retrieve? This one. If I want to retrieve this one, I can do this one by using this property of duplicate to retain last one or first one.
Okay.
Last or first. If you want to retain first record in the group, you can do it. Or if you want to retrieve last record in a group, you can do that.
What about if we want to retain records in the middle means?
Yeah, you got that one, but no way that you can do it.
Okay.
There's no way that you can do it. This is the question that I will come across whenever I open the stage. So there's no way that you can get that one. The only way that you want to, if you want to get that one is if you are using Oracle stages and all, you have got that row num value, right? Row num. In Oracle stage, you are having this setting as row num.
Yes.
Okay. Select star. If you are using source database as source, sorry, Oracle stage as a source, use this particular user defined SQL while reading that thing. Select star from EMP. Okay. Where row num, okay, is less than 2. Once you use this one, it will give you the first row num.
Yeah.
You have got it, right? So that is how you have to read it. Or if you want to read something in between, okay, you are having these concepts of head and tail, right?
Okay.
Let us say there are some 10,000 records coming, okay, and you want to read, there are 10,000 records of same department number are coming, and you want to retrieve 6,000th record. How you have to do? Use the head in the head stage. Use the skip option till what we say 5,099. So first 5,099 would be removed, and you read only one. Okay.
Okay.
Only one record. So you will get first 5,099 would be skipped, and then you will be reading the first record. That would be 6,000th record.
Okay.
You got the setting, right?
Yeah.
That is how you should do if you want to get some records in between. But whereas in using remove duplicates, you don't have the option of getting something in between.
Okay.
You can define as many number of keys as required. Now, if you want to remove duplicates only on employee ID basis, you can do it. Or if you want to remove duplicates based on employee ID plus employee name combination, you can also do that by using this some more keys properties. These are repeatable keys, right?
Okay. Okay.
That is clear, right? These are the only settings that's there in the remove duplicate. Very simple stage, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Only no more settings are there in this remove duplicate stage. Only few settings. Either you have to specify the keys and you have to specify which one has to be retrieved. If you use any other remove duplicates, either in sort or in the stages one, you don't have this option of retrieving which one, right? First one or last one. You don't have that option. Everywhere it retrieves only the first one.
Yes.
See, I will just show how the source data is there, and I will show you how the remove duplicate works in the target. What is the column name that I have used for remove duplicates? EMP-ID, right?
Yeah.
This is the employee ID 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and that the last one more record with the same value of 5, 5. So the target I should have only 1, 5, 5. So only 1, 5, 5 are there. Other 5 is removed.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
This is how your remove duplicate stage works. Fine.
Okay.
Now coming to the change capture and change apply. So I told you in the SCD stage that you can implement the SCD stage using change capture and change apply also. First, remove all those doubts now.
I'm having one doubt regarding sort and remove duplicate. So suppose if 100 records means want to remove the duplicates.
Yeah.
Okay. In that way, which we must use? Means it like in sort also allow duplicates, is that right?
Yeah, you can use the sort to first sort the data and you can remove the duplicates. But if you are having one more requirement like you need to remove duplicates only, I mean you need to get duplicates out of the grouping, only the last one. How can you do that using sort?
Okay, it's not possible.
No, it's not possible. But you can do it using sort plus transformer combination by using key change column. Okay, how key change column is going to generate 1, 0, 0, 0, right? And again 1 will come. So in the transformer, write a logic like wherever the value changes from 0 to 1, retrieve the last value of 0.
Okay.
Okay, you can do it using this particular sort and transformer combination. In the transformer, your logic should be something like, see, in key change column, if you are getting values like 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 for all the consecutive records, you just write a logic like if my record, if the key change column changes from 0 to 1, okay, pick the last 0.
Okay.
You can even write this particular logic in transformer to retain the last record in the duplicates. Okay. Now, if you don't want to use transformer, you are not having any other option other than using your remove duplicate stage.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
And remember, remove duplicates expects data to be already sorted. It expects data to be sorted. That is very crucial point in remove duplicates.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before starting this change capture and change apply, I told you earlier like for implementing slowly changing dimension, you can either use the SCD stage or you can use change capture and change apply stages. Okay. Now, before starting the stage, please remove off all those content which I told regarding change capture and change apply, which helps in doing type 1 and type 2 implementation. Remove off. Now, let us think only from the stage perspective. What is the output of change capture and how change apply can be used. That is the only thing that you should understand now. Don't remember anything, just start with fresh mind. Now change capture, how it is going to work, I will show you. And remember, change capture cannot be worked alone. It needs to work in combination with change apply. Okay, if you want to have any benefit, use change capture plus change apply. Okay. You are able to get me, right? Okay, let us see this example.
One we able to execute means with the only change capture.
Yeah, you can execute it. But generally, if you use change capture, people will be using change apply to implement the changes. If you don't want to implement the changes and if you just want to see the the output, you can use this change capture.
Okay.
Without change apply.
Okay.
Okay. The purpose of change capture and change apply is something like, okay, let us say there is one target data, one database is there, and in that database there are already some records. Okay, some new records came into picture today, and now you want to convert all those existing data within the database into new data.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? There in the target, let us say you just remove everything and just here once again I'm saying from the beginning, in the target, okay, there is a database. In the target database there is a table, say employee table. In that there are some records. Okay. Now from the source you are getting new set of records. Okay. Now my target is to convert the existing data in the target into the original data that I am getting from the source. Okay, you need to convert this target data into source data.
Okay.
For converting, what are all I have to do? Now while getting this particular source data, I will compare what are all there in the target data and I will see, okay, if let us say target data is already, now see, I will show you. We will show you the what is the data, then we will have clear understanding. After .txt, see output after .txt. See output after .txt, see output before .txt. Okay. This is after .txt. Sorry, before .txt first I will show and see. This is before .txt. If you observe, first observe only before .txt. See 1000 ABC 10,010, 1001, 1002, 1003. But now after .txt is getting some new records, some new data. After .txt means your delta load. See, if you observe 1000 is there, okay, from the in the after data.
Okay.
1003 it's also there.
Okay.
1002 it's also there. 1004 is not there and 1005 is not there.
Okay.
You are able to understand, right, what I am saying?
Yeah.
Your voice is too low, Deepthi.
Okay.
Okay? You are able to understand, right?
Yeah.
And also one more thing, if you observe 1000 record here and here, okay, 1000 ABC 10,010, here 1000 ABC 10,010, this is exact match. So what would be the code that you will get? It is a copy.
Okay.
Okay. Observe for 1001. 1001 is not at all there in the after data. That means new data that is coming. After data means new data that is coming. Before data means already existing data in the target, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the already existing data there is 1001. Whereas in the source data, do you find any 1001?
No.
So it is identified as delete. Okay, that means if you delete this particular record, some of the data would be equivalent to your source. That is what the meaning. That is what the meaning that you have to derive here. Now this is marked as delete. Now coming to the third one, 1002. Okay, see 1002 that is coming in the new data. Yeah, it's there. Okay, for 1002 DE fee is there, 30,000 is there, and 40 SAR is there. So it is identified as
copy.
Yes, copy. And coming to 1003, what it is? Just tell me. 1003.
Delete?
No, 1003 is there, right, in the source data also. 1003.
But it is not same, right?
It is not same. That means it is update. Delete means it should be there in the before.txt and it shouldn't be there in after.txt. If you observe 1001 is not at all there in the after.txt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it is delete. Now if you observe 1003, it is there in source, but the data other than the 1003 all are different. So that is why it is identified as update.
Okay.
Okay. And if you observe 1004 and the 1005, those records itself is not there in the before.
Okay.
So these can be identified as inserts.
Okay.
Okay. But while identifying, instead of giving this ICCDU, what I will do for copy, insert and delete update, okay, for a copy operation, okay, insert operation, okay, delete operation and edit, or edit means edit or update, okay. For this I will use some codes, something like C means 0, okay, insert means 1. Are you able to follow me, right? Delete means 2, edit or update means 3. This is the codes that I will use in order to represent copy operation, insert operation, delete operation and update operation, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now you are able to understand how the operation is going to be performed, right? How identification happens between before and after.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now when you use change capture, when you use this change capture, one new column comes into picture. That column is change code. Okay. For every incoming record from the source, it identifies with the change code value as 0, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
This particular column, this new column gets added. Like in the sort, you get that new column for cluster key change and key change column. In the change capture also, you get one new column called change code. It identifies whether that record is an insert or a delete or an edit, something like that. Okay. Using these codes of 0, 1, 2. Got it?
Yeah.
Now coming to the stage properties. Now what is this exclude as value? Okay. I will explain you at the end this one. Let us see the change keys. Okay, change keys means when I mention this key as employee ID and employee name, based on these two columns, it checks this before data and after data. If you observe in our discussion, what is the change key that I have used? Employee ID, right? I have explained you everything based on 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003. That is employee ID I have used as a key, and I have identified whether they are copies or not. If they are identified as copy in the initial step, I am looking for the other values to see whether it is a copy or update, right?
Yeah.
So this particular employee ID acts as key, and these particular values acts as values here. Okay.
Okay.
Change keys. I am mentioning here what are all the keys that I wanted to mention. I am mentioning here. Okay, you got it, right? What I mean to say.
Yeah.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay, this employee ID is used as your key for comparison. Once employee ID has been identified as same in both before and after, we are looking for the other values in that record to identify whether it is a copy or whether it is an update. While identifying what we are going to do, this option is used, exclude as value. That means while comparison, okay, before and after, okay, for this 1003, okay, in the 1003 record, we have identified the 1003 record as an update, right?
Yeah.
How you have identified it as update? First 1003 matched. So initially we thought it is a copy. But when you look at these records, these values, you will identify that, okay, this is an update.
Okay.
Now, for these values, now when we have considered these three columns for comparison, whether to decide it as copy or update, I don't want to use this department number for comparison, let us say, that is the scenario. I wanted to see first whether this particular 1003 is there, 1003 is there in source and target. I have found out that 1003 is there in both source and target, that means after and before. Now I am looking for the other values to see whether it is a copy or update. But while looking, I don't want department number to be looked upon as one of the value. Okay. I want to see only these two values and determine whether it is an update or copy. So in that case, you need to exclude this 10, right, from the values list. So that is what meaning exclude as value as department number. If I use, it won't use department number for the values list to identify whether it is a copy or update. You understood, right? Meaning.
Can you repeat once again about the exclude as value?
Yeah. Now you only tell me how you have identified this 1003 record as an update.
By seeing the employee ID is same, but employee name, salary, and department are different, right?
Different, right? So you made that statement like employee name, salary, and departments are different. Now I don't want you make a statement for department number in that list. I want you to check only for employee name and salary. If both are same, you can directly consider it as a copy. Or if one of these employee name and salary is changed, then you can consider it as update. I don't want you see at the department number itself. Even though department number changed and all other values are same, it can be considered as a copy.
Okay.
Okay, in that scenario, you need to mention to the data stage like which column you don't want to consider for this update if you find. So use this department number here. Exclude as value department number. If you use it while comparison, it will not even consider department number column itself.
Okay. If
even
change that.
What is that?
If it's same or not same, we are not going to consider about the department number, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, let us say in this 1003, okay, PQR to 20,000 is there here also. 1003 PQR 20,000 is there in before.txt also, but department number is changed. Even then we consider it as a copy only if you use department number and exclude as value.
Okay.
You have got your doubt cleared, right? Deepthi?
Yes.
No more doubt in this exclude as value, right? We are not going to consider that particular column for comparison.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. Now coming to the options section. Change mode, explicit keys, all are values. See, this is the difference between these three are very much important. See, explicit keys, all other are values means if I use this option, explicit keys, all values means I am saying to Datastage that boss, I will be saying keys here in this change key section. Apart from that, all the values you can consider as values. Fine.
Sorry.
When I use explicit keys, comma all values, I am saying to Datastage that whatever keys that I am mentioning here, use those keys for initial what we say to identify copies and all, and you consider all the other values, all the other things are values. Here, if I use employee ID and employee name as key, I am saying to Datastage that use only these two as keys to identify. Initially, how we identify 1000 something like that. You use only employee and employee name as keys. All the others you directly consider them as values. That is what we are saying.
Okay.
If I use the other one, say explicit keys and values, that means I am saying that first I am not only mentioning the keys here, I will also mention values also. You don't pick whatever is there. I am saying to this Datastage that in this after and before .txt, if keys are matching, you are directly going and looking at the other values, right? Don't look like that. I will mention where to look. Like employee name and salary are the only two columns that you should look. I will mention here values also.
Okay.
You understood, right?
Yeah.
Very good then. And one more option. If I use all keys, explicit values, from the name what you can derive from our explanation, we are saying that all the things are all the columns that are being mentioned. Wait, this thing always coming up. Sorry. All the columns that are being shown here are considered as keys only.
Yeah.
Previously we used only employee ID as a key. Now what we are saying, use all the keys as keys only. But when I explicitly specify a value in the change value section, don't use only that one for the keys.
Okay.
Okay. In the change value, if I use department number, except this department number, use all the keys as keys. That is what I am saying. All the columns as keys.
Okay.
You understood, right? Difference between three. Tell me what is the difference between all keys, comma explicit values?
Means first,
observe the name properly. All keys, explicit values. All keys means all the columns can be considered as keys. But if I give any change values here as columns, that columns you don't consider for keys. I am explicitly mentioning the value columns here. When you use explicit keys and values, you are saying that I only will type what are all the keys you should use for keys, or what are the columns you should use for keys, and what are the columns you should use for values. If I use explicit keys, I am saying that I will explicitly type what are the columns you need to use for keys, and remaining all you can use for values. That is what the meaning for those three, right?
Okay.
Clear? Any doubts in this thing?
Explicit keys and values and all values difference.
Which one? All values. Explicit keys and see, when you come across this explicit, that means I am manually typing which one you need to take as key.
Okay.
And which one you need to take as value. Okay.
Okay.
When explicit keys, all values means I will be typing only keys. What are all the columns you want to consider as keys, I will be typing. But I won't type what are all the keys you need to take for values. You take all the other columns as values only. That is what I am saying.
Okay, in keys and values, in explicit keys and values, we must type both keys and values,
yes,
right?
Exactly. We should say which keys, which columns to be considered as key and which columns to be considered as values.
Okay.
And in the explicit keys from all values, you will type only keys and all the columns will be considered as values. Here, okay. In all keys from explicit values, all columns will be considered as keys, and you should explicitly type in the value columns.
Okay.
Okay. And what is the order in which you have to take is this one, ascending or descending. This is sort order for that particular column values. And coming to this one, drop output for copy. That means once you have completed this comparison, you have identified whether the incoming data is a insert or delete or update, right?
Yeah.
Okay, once you have identified that, if you don't want to move copy record to the target, why? Because anyway it's already copy, right? Why again you have to move it to the target? It's already there in the actual form only.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you are able to understand, right? The after .txt and before .txt, if you see copy, already there, the same record is there in the source and the target. So there's no point of moving it to the target.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can drop it. That is what the meaning of drop output for copy. Whatever columns has been whatever records has been identified as copy, don't move it to the target. Just drop it there.
Okay.
Similarly, drop output for delete means whatever records has been identified as delete. Don't move it to the target.
Okay.
Similarly for edit and similarly for insert. These are the flexibility that you have got. If you don't want to move inserts to the target, drop it.
Okay.
Okay. And by default, I told you for copy 0 will be used, for insert 1 will be used, delete 2 will be used, and update 3 will be used as the code in the output of the new column.
Okay.
If you want to change the values also, this is the copy code, delete code, edit code, and insert code. And if you want to change the code, the column name also, if you are not interested with this name like change code and you want Deepti to be the name of the column, okay, you can put it here using this particular option. Key code column name, you can put it here as Deepti. Okay, this Deepti column will go into the values, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And if you are not interested with proceeding with the values of 0 for copy, 1 for insert, 2 for delete and all, you can change the columns of the values also using copy code. What would be the default value? 0. So move it to 1 or you put it as 12.
Okay.
From now onwards in that Deepti column, you would get for copy, you will get 12.
Okay.
You are able to understand all the options here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Fine. That is what your change capture is something that these are the settings. You are very much clear about how to use change capture, right? How it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I will explain you how change apply works.
So why we are using that some reject links is there, right? Some peak stage.
Here in the sequential file stage, I told you like if there are any rejects, I will be routing it into the peak.
Okay.
Okay. Let us see the transformer. What we have done in the transformer, just a single step. Anyway, I have put it here, right? See here, I haven't written any constraints. I am passing here a condition. See, if link code, that means the change code is coming, right? That new column. Okay, new column is coming, right?
Yeah.
That new column code, if it is 0, I am putting it as copy. Else if change code equal to 1, I am putting this string as insert. I just wanted to, in the output, I just don't want to see 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that what I have done in the transformer, I have written a if loop where I am saying that if change code I am getting in for this record as 0, put that value as copy.
Okay.
If change code is 1, please insert that string as insert. I don't want to see 1 in the output. I wanted to see the value insert in the output. Something like that. You understood, right? In this change output column, at the end, you will not see 0, 1, 2, 3. You will see copy, insert, delete. Why? Because I have written this logic here. If 0 comes, please insert copy into this change code. Something like that. You understood, right?
Yeah.
Good. Then I have come once again. I need to compile. Why? Because I just did this. How come 0, 0, 0?